Maintaining air superiority has been one of the cornerstones of every major war that has waged ever since the invention of the airplane, be it the classic World War I dogfights or the atomic bombings in 1945 to the more recent usage of droids in America's war on terror. However, if it is organized missions and calculated airstrikes that we're talking about, then it mostly begins post-World War I. This list picks up 10 such military aircraft missions that were instrumental in shaping world history and politics. Bombing of Guernica, 1937. The bombing of Guernica by the German Condor Legion, utilizing Heinkel He-111 bombers, was an alarming precursor to the extensive use of air raids in warfare. This attack on the small Basque town during the Spanish Civil War was less about tactical advantage and more about testing military capabilities and instilling fear. The destruction wrought on Guernica, killing hundreds and injuring thousands, was a stark demonstration of the indiscriminate and devastating potential of aerial bombardment on civilian populations. This event not only foreshadowed the extensive civilian casualties of future wars, but also highlighted the evolving nature of warfare, where cities and civilians could become frontline targets. Blitzkrieg over Poland, 1939. The German invasion of Poland marked the beginning of World War II and introduced the world to Blitzkrieg. This strategy, characterized by rapid, coordinated assaults by air and land forces, was epitomized by the use of the Luftwaffe's Messerschmitt Bf 109. The overwhelming speed and power of the German forces quickly overran Polish defenses, setting a new standard for military campaigns. The Blitzkrieg over Poland not only showcased the importance of air superiority in modern warfare, but also demonstrated how air power could be effectively integrated with ground operations to achieve rapid military victories. Battle of Britain, 1940. A crucial turning point in World War II, the Battle of Britain was the first major campaign to be fought entirely by air forces. The German Luftwaffe, with its formidable fleet of bombers and fighters, sought to gain air superiority over Britain as a precursor to an amphibious invasion. In response, the Royal Air Force, equipped with the Supermarine Spitfire and Hawker Hurricane, mounted a tenacious defense. The battle demonstrated the importance of air superiority and advanced radar technology, ultimately leading to Germany's first major defeat and preventing the invasion of Britain. The Dam Busters, 1943, Operation Chastise, conducted by the RAF's 617 Squadron using Avro Lancaster bombers, was an audacious assault on German dams. The operation, under the command of Wing Commander Guy Gibson, was notable for its innovative use of bouncing bombs designed by Barnes-Wallis. These bombs, released over water, were designed to skip over protective nets and detonate against the dam walls. Despite heavy losses, the mission successfully breached the Möhne and Eder dams, causing significant flooding and disruption to German industrial production. The Dam Busters raid is remembered not only for its strategic impact, but also for the ingenuity and bravery involved. Pearl Harbor, 1941. The Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor was a masterstroke of strategic planning and execution, designed to neutralize the U.S. Pacific Fleet and give Japan free rein in the Pacific. The surprise attack was executed with a fleet of 6 aircraft carriers, deploying over 350 aircraft, including Nakajima B, 5N bombers, and Mitsubishi A6M0 fighters. The attack decimated the U.S. battleship fleet, destroying 4 battleships and damaging 4 others, and caused significant loss of life. However, crucially, the U.S. aircraft carriers were not in the harbor and thus escaped damage. The attack had far-reaching consequences, propelling the U.S. into World War II with a resolve to defeat Japan, and marked a significant evolution in naval warfare, highlighting the strategic importance of aircraft carriers over battleships. Atomic bomb raids, 1945. The atomic bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki were pivotal moments in military and world history. Carried out by B-29 superfortresses, notably the Enola Gay and Bockscar, these bombings were the culmination of the Manhattan Project, a massive, secretive effort by the United States to develop nuclear weapons. The bombs, Little Boy and Fat Man, caused unprecedented destruction. Hiroshima was almost completely flattened, and Nagasaki suffered massive damage, with tens of thousands killed immediately and many more dying later from radiation exposure. These bombings showed the devastating potential of nuclear weapons and led directly to Japan's surrender, ending World War II. They also initiated a nuclear arms race during the Cold War, profoundly influencing global military strategy and international relations. Korean War aerial battles, 1950 to 1953. The Korean War was a seminal event in the history of aerial combat, marking the first extensive use of jet aircraft in war. The North Korean invasion of South Korea saw initial air battles involving propeller-driven aircraft like the F-51 Mustang. However, the entry of the Soviet Union and China into the conflict brought the cutting-edge MiG-15 into play, prompting the US to deploy the F-86 Sabre. The ensuing air battles over MiG Alley were fierce and frequent, demonstrating the agility and speed of jet fighters. These battles underscored the importance of air superiority and technological advancement in aircraft design, influencing future military aviation development. Falklands Black Buck attacks, 1982. The British air campaign during the Falklands War was notable for its logistical complexity and strategic audacity. The RAF's Operation Black Buck involved Vulcan bombers flying from Ascension Island, over 3,000 miles away, to strike targets in the Falkland Islands. These missions were the longest-range bombing raids in history at that time, requiring multiple in-flight refuelings. The attacks focused on the runway at Port Stanley and Argentine radar installations, aiming to degrade Argentine air capabilities and assert British air superiority. The success of these missions demonstrated the extended strategic reach of air power and the importance of air-to-air refueling in modern military operations. Operation Eldorado Canyon, 1986. This U.S. airstrike against Libya was a direct response to Libyan state-sponsored terrorism, including the bombing of a Berlin discotheque frequented by U.S. servicemen. F-111 Aardvarks and F-18 Hornets were deployed from British bases due to the denial of airspace by France, Spain, and Italy. The strikes targeted key military installations in Tripoli and Benghazi, aiming to cripple Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi's ability to sponsor terrorist activities. The operation highlighted the precision and global reach of U.S. air power and the increasing use of airstrikes as a tool of foreign policy against state-sponsored terrorism. Gulf War Air Campaign, 1991. The air campaign in the Gulf War marked a new era of technological superiority in air warfare. The US-led coalition's air strategy was to achieve complete air superiority before a ground invasion. Advanced stealth aircraft like the F-117 Nighthawk were used for the first time, along with veteran B-52 Stratofortresses, to carry out precision strikes on Iraqi command and control centers, Scud missile launchers, and key infrastructure, significantly reducing coalition casualties and leading to a swift victory. The success of the air campaign in the Gulf War redefined the concept of air power in modern warfare and set a precedent for future conflicts. That's all for today's video, and I hope you enjoyed it. If so, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more engaging content.